What happens when geopolitical tensions collide with global energy supply? When diplomacy breaks down? And when the world's most critical oil routes become uncertain? Tonight, we investigate a rapidly evolving crisis involving the United States, Iran, and the broader Middle East. A situation that experts warn could reshape the global economy, impact fuel prices, and affect millions of lives worldwide. This is not just about politics. This is about energy, stability, and the future of the global economy. And the biggest question remains, are we witnessing temporary escalation, or the early signs of a much larger global disruption? In recent months, tensions between the United States and Iran have intensified dramatically. Statements from leadership have ranged from diplomatic optimism to warnings of serious consequences. At the center of the debate is the question, are negotiations truly happening behind the scenes? Or is the situation more uncertain than it appears? Some political voices suggest diplomacy is ongoing. Others argue that actions on the ground tell a different story. Military movements, strategic positioning, and rising rhetoric all point to a situation that is far from resolved. And in times like these, perception matters just as much as reality, because global markets respond not only to facts, but to expectations. To understand the stakes, we need to focus on one critical location, the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow passage connects the Persian Gulf to the open ocean and serves as one of the most important oil transit routes in the world. Roughly 20% of global oil supply passes through this corridor. Any disruption here doesn't stay regional, it becomes global. Even minor instability can lead to immediate spikes in oil prices. Shipping insurance costs rise, energy markets react, and within days, consumers around the world feel the impact at the gas pump. But the concern today goes beyond temporary disruption. Some analysts warn about risks to infrastructure itself, oil facilities, refineries, and shipping routes. If damaged, recovery could take months or longer. Oil prices have already shown sensitivity to recent developments, from moderate levels earlier to sharp increases during periods of heightened tension. Why does this matter? Because energy is the backbone of the global economy. Higher oil prices mean increased transportation costs, rising inflation, pressure on supply chains, higher costs for businesses and consumers, and historically, energy shocks have triggered economic slowdowns. In the 1970s, oil supply disruptions led to global recession. Today's economy is even more interconnected, which means the ripple effects could be faster and broader. While political narratives dominate headlines, military experts often focus on practical realities. The Persian Gulf is a complex environment, narrow waterways, heavy maritime traffic, and multiple strategic vulnerabilities. Modern naval operations in such conditions are not simple. Even the most advanced fleets must navigate limited maneuver space, potential underwater threats, missile systems, naval mines. This raises a critical point. Military strength does not guarantee easy outcomes, and prolonged conflict introduces unpredictability, something global markets do not tolerate well. At the heart of this crisis is a fundamental question: will diplomacy prevail? Or will escalation continue? Historically, negotiations have played a key role in stabilizing similar situations, but diplomacy requires clear communication, mutual trust, strategic patience. Without these elements, misunderstandings can escalate quickly. And in a high-stakes environment like the Middle East, even small miscalculations can have global consequences. If tensions continue, the consequences could extend far beyond the region. Potential outcomes include rising fuel prices worldwide, increased cost of living, market volatility, pressure on developing economies for everyday people. This translates to higher transportation costs, more expensive goods, and economic uncertainty in a world still recovering from previous global disruptions. This is a risk that policymakers are watching closely. Public discourse reflects a wide range of perspectives. Some analysts emphasize urgency, warning of potential economic consequences. Others highlight the resilience of global systems, suggesting that markets may stabilize if tensions ease. In political discussions, There are also calls for greater transparency, stronger oversight, renewed diplomatic engagement, and while opinions differ, one point is widely agreed upon: the situation requires careful management. The world today is more connected than ever before. A single region's instability can ripple across continents. This story is still unfolding, and its outcome will depend on decisions made in the coming days and weeks. The question is no longer just about conflict, but about consequences. Will diplomacy take the lead, or will escalation define the future? Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay aware, and we'll continue bringing you in-depth, fact-based analysis on the stories that shape our world.